Y'all stand behind the lines. You know I see the truth. Why you hiding your lies? It's all over your face. I see it in your eyes. Tell I'm all about business. Let me loosen my tie. I perfected my shit. You a worthless little bitch. And it's controlling the game. You tryna squeeze little inch. Watch how I work with the wrench. But all you can give is a pinch. You pussy niggas is trash and you can't get rid of the stench. I'm about to stack up these dollars. Y'all niggas do not make sense. They say the game has been changed. I'm trying to count up the cents. My team acrobatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Panda Wrestling Company. I am Irish Neep, joined by Johnny here. Johnny, we got a special one today, brother.
Yes, we do. It is an amazing guest.
Yes, and we all love professional wrestling, but one thing that goes unnoticed is how much music can contribute to the hype of a pay-per-view, a show. And without further ado, let's bring him in, Mr. Kevin Rudolf.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Kevin? Appreciate you joining, man. Appreciate you doing this for us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yep. So first off, I didn't expect you to even answer when I reached out, let alone accept. So just from all of us, just a huge thank you. We're still kind of getting this off the ground, and you're doing us a huge favor doing this. So we really, really appreciate it.
No, man, I appreciate you having me. This is cool. You guys are really cool. So this is fun, man.
Appreciate it. So I'm gonna start with one. We're mainly wrestling focused, but we're gonna dabble a little into your career as well. But I want to start with. Did you grow up a wrestling fan? Are you a wrestling fan, or did this kind of partnership with WWE just kind of come in your radar and you just kind of ran with it? How did the whole thing start, and just take us into that whole story?
It probably I was a wrestling fan growing up, and I was like it was the Hulk Hogan era, and,
yeah.
all that whole time period. So that was I remember seeing like Rocky 3, and that made me like a wrestling fan at that time. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, was 3 or 4? It was 3.
Three.
That was 3, yeah.
4 was Drago.
4 was Drago.
3 was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yes. That's when Clubber Lang came back in the picture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So man. So from then, like I got into music, so my interest probably shifted out of wrestling, sports, and all that stuff more over to music. As I was like turning, probably 13, 14 and all that stuff. And then when Let It Rock came out, they started using it for a lot of like promos, and it was a lot of sports stuff, but it was WWE. And then they just kept going with it. And then I connected with them and Neil and Kevin over there, and those guys are like, they're just so cool. They're so supportive, They have I just like the way they do what they do, They're just like a really cool, like they have their own shit. Like if you're in the music industry, it's very political.
Yeah.
They have their own thing that's just like, we run shit and we do it our way and we make our own decisions, and that's just what's cool about them.
Yeah. Now, as I was doing a deep dive, I didn't realize you had this. And I might have missed one, but you've had 8 songs featured on WWE programming. 8 songs. I might be missing one, but from everywhere, from an NXT theme song when NXT was still like a game show to WrestleMania. So, like, did they just keep coming back to you? Like, because it seemed like it was every few years, and you just had one in 2020. Watch Me Now was Extreme Rules 2020. Yeah. Yeah, so did they just keep coming back to you? Like, did the partnership just work from the get-go and they just kept coming back? Or because 8 songs that's impressive. Like you might be up there as far as the top of people that have had that many wrestling theme songs.
Yeah, it just every time I would put out a single, they just kept licensing them, and it wasn't until about, I'd say, like 2012. That I really got in contact with Neil, and then we became friendly after that. And he runs like the music over there.
Yeah.
And then Kevin, who's more in the corporate side, and they just were so cool. Like how they just decided they were like, they liked me. I don't know how other to describe, or my music or whatever it was. Maybe it was just like the right fit, the right sound, the right vibe for because I'm sort of, I guess, known for doing like pump up records, like records that make you feel powerful, which is great because that's what I listened when I was a kid. Like I was back to the Rocky stuff, like to me, like the music that inspired me before I even started playing music was like Eye of the Tiger and stuff like that. You know, Jump by Van. You know, I was like a big Van Halen fan, and I just love shit that made you feel like you know you can conquer the world. You know what I mean? So I think that's like what connected with that.
Yeah.
And then they just kept going, and then I didn't ask them. I didn't, you know, it was just like, yo, and they're like, all right, cool. And like, all right, we want to use this for this. I was like, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool, man. And even they even brought you in for SummerSlam to perform on the stage of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that experience like?
It was. So I went out to LA, and it's a funny thing. I was thinking about stuff like, because when we were, you know, setting this up, and I was thinking about that night, and I just remember like going to sound check, and like the way they just run shit is just amazing. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, it's so, because you know the music game in general is like, it's just a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and they like.
Right.
They're the way I remember, like the way they run, it's like, it was like the military. Like I was, damn, these guys were like, they got their shit together. It was crazy. And yeah, I did Don't Give Up that night. It was like a Don't Give Up remix that night. And it was great. It was cool. I mean, it was a little bit like, to me, like I think going back to that night, I think it would have been better to do like Let It Rock or something like that, because it was already like established. It was kind of like a newer song at the time. So I don't know if it was like as well received as maybe like one of the older songs would have been. But yeah, so yeah, I did that, and it was great, man. I mean, you get to meet everybody backstage, and you know, hang out with John Cena, and you know, everyone was, you know, it's super cool. It's like a world they've created, and it's really cool the way they do it.
Yeah.
Who is some of your memorable people that you met that night that you remember?
I think I met everybody. I remember hanging out with John Cena a little bit. It was like a lot of people in passing, you know, met the Twins and the Divas, and you know, the whole, it was probably more that era, you know. But we took pictures with everybody, you know. It was like, you just like, hey, you know, it's not really like, you're not sitting there like, hey, so really, you know, what are your thoughts on, you know, you just you're moving. So it's like, yeah, it's like that.
So you and John Cena didn't talk about doing a track together?
That would be crazy, right?
That would be crazy. That would be wild. 100%.
That would be crazy.
You might be able to get him out of retirement.
What's that?
You might be able to get him out of retirement.
Yeah, right. I know. Well, he's a full-time actor now. He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's got bars though.
He's a good actor too.
Yeah. He's got bars too. That would be a dope song. That would be a dope song. Yeah.
We should do that. I think we were talking about that one time. I don't know. We're not with him, but like we're talking about doing something that was like a full. We're talking about. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, it was. Those guys are. You know, I'm down with whatever.
Did you get to the boss at the time? Did you get to have any discussions with Vince McMahon at all?
No. I think I just, it was like a quick handshake. Hi, this is, you know, it's like you're sort of, you know, he's running or was running, you know, a very large ship. So you're kind of like, hey, meet our guest for today. Hey, great to see you. Thanks for doing it. You know, and it's just kind of like that. But but like I said, you know, I just like everything WWE is just, they're like just cool.
Yeah. Is that for the SummerSlam, is that something that was very quick in and out, or I know you said you had very, you know, kind of brief discussions with everybody, or was that something where you were there for a little while and got to enjoy it and soak it all in, or was that kind of when you came in, did your thing?
Enjoy anything and soak it all in.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, you're like you're in a room. You have a time, and it goes for every show, every appearance, every anything. You know, you're completely like of the moment, and you just Okay. But we hung backstage, met everyone, and then I hung out with Neil and Kevin later that night, and they were cool. Just real cool, like real cool people.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, like I said, eight songs. I mean, that's I had a hard time tracking down more people. You know, people that had more than you. Has there been any? Like I said, 2020 was the last one, but has there been any? You know, kind of discussions of something else? I know. I know you posted on TikTok that you're thinking of, or you're making another post-pandemic rock anthem. Now,
I am.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you want, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But since 2020, has there been any other discussions? Because it seems like throughout the years, it's been pretty steady with them. Every few years, you got a song on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think it comes down to just if it's a fit. It was like, I think even with Watch Me Now, I had sent it to Neil because I just thought it would be like a different kind of track for them. It was a little more kind of like throwback vibe, a little kind of like grungier rock song. And he's like, nah, man, it's not. I don't think it's gonna work. And then he called me back like a few months later. He's like, all right, we fit it into this and it's working.
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to like whether it works for them when they do their what are they called, teasers, or
right, like the little hype videos.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think it just comes down to whether it works for them, really. And I mean, I'll definitely, like, when I put this new song out, I'll definitely reach out to him, see if it's something that works. And I think it will work, actually, because it's like, I think you guys are gonna really like this song too. It's like, I kind of went in the it's crazy because I got to tell you this story, because like I only started TikTok like a couple months ago, right?
Right.
And it's really like it's been amazing for me because I was never really into social media in general. You know what I mean? I was always like, because when you're in a label, like, post something. Right. And then like people are like, just post something you're eating lunch. And I'm like, dude, I don't do that. I'm not posting me eating lunch. Like, I don't do that, Yeah. But I started like I was like looking at TikTok. I was like, TikTok's interesting because it's kind of like you can do anything on there. It has no like parameter. Like, you can do what you guys are doing, and you're connecting to the WWE fans, and you could do your lifestyle, whatever people are doing on there. But I grew up in New York, so people be doing like crazy shit when I was growing up. Like, you go down to Soho and like some girl be like sitting on an ice cube for 3 hours in an art gallery, and you just be like, what is, Anyway, long story short, I kind of liked like the performance art aspect of it, right? So like you could kind of like do anything on there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, why don't I just like try some different things? So I was trying some things, and like, I guess shouldn't be to my surprise, but when I started talking about the Cash Money and Lil Wayne and on all the old stories and everything like that, people started digging that. So I did a lot more of that. And so I actually like connected with so many fans for like the first time, like on like just seeing those comments like in a very real way, because it's really interactive. And I was like, wow, because I'll be sitting here sometimes like working on music, and I'll be like, that's not right. Oh, that's not it. Oh, you know what I mean? It's a creative process, and you just like, I'll go off in like one direction for like 2 months and like think it's the shit, and it's like, this fucking sucks. Like, what am I even doing? Yeah. So when I got back like connecting with people, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, people actually are still connected to like a Let It Rock and I Made It. It's part of their lives, and which makes me feel amazing, and but also like renewed my purpose. I was like, I need to give the world something like this again. You know what I mean? Yeah. I need to put that energy out, because that's what they're connecting with. Because sometimes, especially like I work alone for the most part, so I'll be like, in my world, like, I'm playing a sad song, I don't feel good today, whatever, and people are like, nah, that's boring. What else you got? Yeah. And I'm like, and I was like, man, this is like, I need to nurture this connection, because you guys are what made me anything. You know what I mean? I'm what the fuck am I doing? I'm just making songs. It's everyone else's connection to it. Boy, I'm rambling for a long fucking time.
All right, we got time. We got time. Believe me.
Cappuccinos.
I'm curious about how you view TikTok, because I think I've listened to some of your interviews where you would just go off and talk about a little thing that you heard in like a Kodak Black song or something that you could do something with a tune, or you just got a little tune from, I think it was Let It Rock was from something in high school. I wonder if it's because TikTok is very similar with their sounds. Like it'll take something from one clip, another thing from another clip, and another thing from another clip, remix it into something. I wonder, does that gravitate towards
Yeah,
you?
because that's the interactive part of it. That's the part where you know, like the old me, like where I was thinking about social media, like I would be like, I don't understand, you know, and now it's like, you know what? You got to pull the veil back. You got to let people in. You know, like I'm about to roll out like on TikTok. Like I'm gonna have fun with this. Like I'm gonna do a whole series on this new song, and I'm gonna show everybody how I steal from myself. So I'm gonna go. I went back to Let It Rock. I'm like listening because I hadn't listened to a lot of that stuff in a long time. I don't like play my own music every day, you know.
Yeah.
And watching like all the TikTok stuff, like I'm like, wow, like I bet I could kind of like do a record just like this, and I bet I could use those same sounds, and I'd only be copying myself.
Yeah.
So why don't and instead of like putting it out and people going, oh man, he just stole the sound, you know, and be like, no, I'm gonna highlight that and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can do it too. You know, like I fuck with everybody on there. There's like it's so cool to just see the interaction. Like that's the future. You can't beat Pink Floyd's, you know, 3 years in a castle making a Dark Side of the Moon anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just doesn't work for people. I mean, it would be cool, but that's not the way it's working. And the truth is, it's actually much more fun to do it this way. You know what I mean? You just got to get that. It took me a long time to just get that thing out of my head where I'll like, no, I'm over here. I'm not, don't touch me. I'm, you know, it's like some shit.
Right.
Like I'm just like in my own world. Like, and it's like, fuck it, man. Come on in. Let's go. What are we doing today? All right. I'm going to show you the sounds. You can make it too. I'm going to make it. You can make that part and duet it if you want and do whatever you want. Like I fuck with everybody on TikTok.
Yeah, I see that being huge on TikTok. I think that's exactly like what can make people big on TikTok.
Yeah.
What's that?
I see that being huge on TikTok. Like that type of stuff and that creativity is like exactly what TikTok needs.
Yeah, man. It's just about, it is about community. And it's like, I mean, what would you rather have? Like some random radio hit, or would you rather have 1 million people on TikTok who fuck with you? You know what I mean? Because that's it. Like, and guess what? There is no other way. Like you can't, like you get a, like, let's say you're a new artist, and I tell this to new artists all the time. And what's the key? What do I do? And it's like the same thing. It's like, man, just do the TikTok thing, because you're not going to get around it. Okay, let's say you magically get a record deal because whatever, you have some relationship and they're like, all right, we'll just sign him and whatever. The first thing they're going to say is, all right, get your TikTok numbers up. Like get your fan base up.
Yeah.
And the truth is, if you have that fan base already there, the fuck do you need a label for?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like what do you need? Like what I mean, yes, to go to radio, that's political, obviously. There's certain opportunities, maybe licensing or certain touring opportunities or press opportunities. But basically, like you're on your own if you got that, if you have those fans, and that's all you could wish for as an artist.
Yeah. Yeah. The crazy thing about TikTok is there's like, you see a lot of songs that like are years old and never really like got there. And then all it takes is like one person to do like a dance or something to it, and it just explodes.
Yep.
It's pretty wild.
It's
pretty
crazy.
Wild.
And what's crazy is that you don't reach the same people every time. Like I get comments every day, man, you can't make your whole life about Let It Rock. And I was like, dude, like I've lived so many lives since Let It Rock, but it's what you guys are excited about. So I want to give you what you want. Like, listen, man, I don't want to go see the Rolling Stones and they don't play Satisfaction.
Right.
Right.
Like, I don't care if Rolling Stones put out an album since 1975.
Yeah.
Like I was good with Beast of Burden being the last song, like was 1978, but you know what I mean? Like I was good with like that era. I don't even know if they put out anything yet. I mean, I do know, but I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing about TikTok is like you're seeing how your music affected people. So it's so cool to just, I'm cool with being Let It Rock guy forever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know who I am. It's all good.
A lot of people in your comments, you know, they say like, you know, Let It Rock or I Made It was like, part of their childhood, and they grew up on it. Like you kind of spoke on it already, but like, what does that feel like hearing that like you were part of someone's childhood and how they were kind of brought up?
It is the best thing ever. I'm so I got choked up. I teared up a few times just reading some of those comments, especially this one guy. I did a post on it. I couldn't even get through the post without I was getting choked up, trying to get through the post. He said, what was it? I did a thing. I said, a lonely middle school boy, and you're basically the only thing I had on my iPad, and that altered the course of my life. I'm like,
wow.
I mean, what the fuck? What else could you wish for in life to contribute something? I mean, I don't take credit for that. That's his experience and his interpretation of something that I created. I'm not saying I'm altering lives, or maybe I am, or maybe I'm not. But whatever, anything to do with something that altered the course of someone's life, as they're saying it is. It's the highest compliment on earth. It makes me want to work. It makes me want to like get back to it, and it makes me want to give them what they want. It's shit like that made me go, I need to give more of myself of that to the world, instead of me being a little fucking bitch in my own artistic world and being like, I'm only gonna do this and I'm only gonna do that, because that's how your artist brain works. You have this thing and you're like, they don't understand that, so I'm gonna do this or whatever. But this is the shit that makes me like, I gotta step up and I gotta fucking deliver and give people more of this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And this is a personal question, because my favorite song of yours is "What You Waiting For," with 3 6 Mafia. I absolutely love that song, and I know you've done a few songs with them. But can you just kind of walk through that experience of that song, how it came up, and especially kind of getting them on board with that song?
Yeah, it's really, really simple. I somehow, I don't know who it came through, but it was like back when I was making my second album, they hit me up to go in the studio to work on some stuff for them. We did this song called Late Night Automatic, which was also on that album.
Yeah.
And that was going to be for their album. And they were going through I think it was like some contractual shit. A lot of times things are going on and like fans are like, how come you didn't do this? And how come you didn't put this out? It's like, dude, there's a whole world going on behind the scenes. Like we don't know about, could be contractual legal things and stuff. So I think they were getting off their label or something like that. So they didn't put it out. But, it's kind of like, I think what happened was when we did What You Waiting For, I think I hit them up again. I was like, look, man, I'm going to use Late Night Automatic, but you guys would be perfect on this too. So it was then, we just got the verses back. It was that simple on that one.
Yeah.
Those guys, oh my God, they're fucking amazing. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Like the most fun ever to be in there. It's funny. I forget about that. Like that was like the most fun day ever being in the studio with them.
Really? I was going to ask that if you were able to actually get in the studio with them, or if they just kind of sent it over type thing.
What's that?
I said I was going to ask that next, if you were able to get in the studio with them, or if it was more of they just sent it.
Studio when we did Late Night Automatic, they cut that on the spot, and then when we did What You Waiting For, that one I sent it to them and they sent the verses back, which is honestly like how 90% of things work in this day and age. Like, I gotta beat whatever. I mean, like hardly even with Wayne, people say, what's it like working with Lil Wayne? And it's the same thing with Wayne. It's like, I've been in the studio maybe one time when he actually cut something. Not like 99% of the time. Like as far as working with him, doing the videos with him was really more working with him.
Right.
Ever like otherwise, just here's a beat, here's a song, and like you just get the files back, and then I'll see him, and I'll be like, yo man, you killed that shit up, all like excited and everything. He'll be like, what did I do?
Is it?
Did 9 songs that night,
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
Can you speak on any truth that he freestyles all of his verses?
He does freestyle them, yeah. He doesn't write them down. He'll do I think sometimes a few lines at a time, and then sometimes the whole thing.
Okay.
But it's all stream of consciousness. I mean, he's working so much, he's doing so much that it's like, it's like anything. It's like breathing for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just going right through him, and he is tapped in as fuck. I mean, he is tapped in to his artistry. Like he is next level. Like he legit is. I work with people. Sometimes you work with people and they're like, okay, that's cool. And then like with him, it's just like, just be yourself, because it's all coming through you.
Yeah.
Who was the funnest experience of working with? Because you were a part of Cash Money, who had so many people on there.
I would have to say again, Wayne.
Yep.
You know, because I think two reasons. One, because I think there was like a chemistry. You know, it almost felt like weirdly kind of like destined or something. Like the way, just sonically, it was meshing together. It almost felt like it was like, at least on my end, for him, maybe he was just like, oh yeah, that's, you know, yeah, Kev's great, yeah, I threw some verses on. I don't know, maybe not, but
yeah,
you know, you never know. But I felt like there was an energy there that made the music we did like really work together, at least on my end. And so he's great. I've also worked with like, you know, Keith Urban, and he's another totally different kind of entity, but again, like master of his craft. Rick Ross is a master of his craft. Nas is a master of his craft. You know what I mean? These are people that they just defined who they are personally and artistically, and you get that. And it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like you just you go to that store and you get the top of the line of that. You know what I mean? I mean that like fully respectfully. Like they just are so evolved as artists. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much less like wandering in that than there is in like the pop type song music world of like that thing where everyone's like constantly insecure and searching and they're like hoping to have a hit. And I fucking hate that shit.
Is that the type of artist that you gravitate towards? Because like you're very open to all kinds of music. I think Wayne would be very similar. Like he's very open to different kinds of music. He did the rock album. He did he's done pop punk verses. Are you more so when you see an artist that's like shifting in different avenues that you want to gravitate towards those people?
I like working with people who know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like people who come in and deliver, and they got the goods and they deliver the goods, because the worst thing you can do with art is be insecure. The worst thing you can do in art is question yourself, because what you're saying is like, you're not an artist. If you're an artist, you make art, and whatever you make is correct because you made it. And that's the way the best of the best, like the names I mentioned, operate. When Wayne goes into the studio, he can do something, and you may love it, you may not, whatever, but you end up realizing it's magic, because what happens is he's like, I painted the picture. Picasso takes a paintbrush, he paints the picture. You can say whatever you want, but in, 50 years later, it's worth whatever because it's Picasso.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. Those are the artists I like. The ones who are like clear, who know who they are, and can just be confident that whatever they do is the right move.
Yeah. And a lot of people, know your voice, know your songs, but some people do, but what a lot of people don't know is the producing work and stuff you've done for other people. So your list there is just as long as your hits yourself. So as far as the creative process of doing something for someone else, knowing you don't have to give your voice or anything like that, how does it kind of differ, or, how is it similar?
I think it's a lot of it's like circumstantial. Like, for example, like I went to Nashville for 2 days, right? And I ended up writing 2 songs, and one of them became that Keith Urban song, you know? And that was just me going in with like the Warren brothers, who are already amazing country writers. And I don't take any credit for like the, brilliant phrasing in terms of, what they create lyrically. I was really more on the music side of that, and maybe some melodic stuff. But so that was like that time. Another time, I'd be in LA and you say, hey, do you want to work with this person? And you work with them and you just do what you do. So I think it's really just an extension of what I was doing as an artist, because they make those phone calls because they like something you did as an artist, or if you're having a hit, those kind of things. So sometimes it's like, you just get in the sandbox and you just play, hey, all right, well, you want to add this, or, oh, let's get some drums on this, or, or sometimes it's really more writing a song. It just depends. It's like, it's definitely a different process than like what I do as an artist.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just as fun.
Right. And as far as like a song, say like You Make the Rain Fall, Flow Rida, is that one where you guys were together on that, or you had everything and he just kind of sent his verse in?
No, we did work together on that, but it was funny. It was similar to the 3-6 Mafia story. So it was in LA. I went to the studio with him and we started working on a couple songs. So what came out of that was this record, On and On. You ever hear that record?
Yeah.
So like I ended up doing the hook on that. We scrapped the other thing that I was working on with him. And then after that, like when You Make the Rain Fall, I was like, oh man, you know what? Let me trade with Flo. Like I'll trade him the hook for the verse. It was like one of those kind of things. Like, wow, that was cool. I was on his joint, and he get on mine, and it was like one of those things,
Yeah.
But I wasn't in the studio when he cut that one. I'm trying to remember if we did the video, because that video was like some light bright craziness and like I think we did it on different days though. It was like some other thing, yeah.
And what's because that's a guy you never really hear about from anywhere. I mean, as far as like his personal life and his work ethic. What was working with him like? Because like I said, that's kind of a guy you never really hear about. He doesn't really do a whole lot of like interviews, or he's not really out there. So you never really hear about him a whole lot. What's kind of he like behind the scenes and everything like that?
He's cool, man. He's a really nice guy. I ran into him a couple of years ago down here. I think he lives here down in Miami, like a lot of the time. So
yeah,
man. He's just cool, man. He's cool people. Really nice dude.
Cool.
Didn't get too deep with him. Just like working on music. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Was it a dream working with Nas as a New Yorker?
Oh yeah. I mean that was a complete dream. That was like, honestly, I was just amazed that he was even willing to do it. I was like, oh, I'm not cool enough for Nas. Like, Nas is real cool. Like, I'm cool, but he's real cool. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so I was just like, damn, he wants to get on it. Like, it was like that simple. We were looking. I think we were talking to some, I won't mention any names, some other people, and I didn't even think of Nas because I just thought he wouldn't do it, And someone at Universal played it for him, and they called it like, "Yo, Nas, he wants to get on the MNIC joint." And I was like, "Okay, why?" I was like, "Not why, but you know what I'm saying." Like, it was just like one of those things. Sometimes you don't know. I don't know, like shit. Like Nas, like fucking, I'm New York. He's like real New York.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and then we met up later in the studio, and then we did it. It was funny because we had this record called. You ever hear of My Darkest Days?
Mm-hmm.
There was a record I did with them called "The World Belongs to Me," and so I don't know, something happened. I was in the studio in LA, and Nas was there, and we got together, and I can't remember why he was, because I couldn't hear him on there. It was something for like a Transformers movie.
Okay.
And then it didn't get in that movie, and then that band, My Darkest Days, put it out. You guys can check it out if you want. It's called "The World Belongs to Me." It's a cool song. It's definitely like one of those anthem type records for sure.
Okay, cool. Did you, is there anybody, whether it be an OG or someone kind of coming up that you want to work with now that you haven't already worked with?
I mean, like that I sit here thinking about like that. I'd love to do more stuff with Wayne.
Sure.
But people that so you said haven't worked with. Haven't worked with. I mean, I've never worked with a Drake. I met him a gazillion times, but I've never worked with him. I mean, it would obviously be amazing to have him on a record. There's, it's like you're in the game, so it's like obviously if Taylor Swift called me, I'm picking up the phone. I mean, I don't sit here like writing songs for Taylor Swift or anything like that. It's not really my style, but you know what I mean? Like I'm down for whatever. It's not like that. I'm just doing my thing right now, and just kind of seeing like I'm kind of into like really the thing I'm most excited about is just really like re-engaging with all these fans and people who listen to my stuff. Like that's like what's fueling me right now. It's not really collaborating like type stuff. Like
Sure.
I'm down for whatever. If it's something I like, if someone is cool and an artist I respect, but and there's a lot of them, so some amazing people out right now. But I don't really like focus on that.
Yeah. Being in music and just being in the game, I don't know if you can kind of pull yourself back and see, but do you think when you've seen so many like rappers turn into a rock or turn into like a punk feel to them, do you think that you had kind of any influence on that?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. Like, I don't think I had any influence on people say, did Wayne pick up a guitar because of you? And it's like, I don't think so. Not really. Like, what? I mean, culture is culture. We all see things. We see something and we incorporate it into our lives. I did have a few experiences where people like did make records that were like exactly like Let It Rock after that time period. And I was like, well, that's fucking weird. Like, what are you doing that for? Like, it's even weirder when, what's weirder is like when there'd be people say, hey man, I wrote a song for you. And they'll send me some shit, and it's like, first of all, I don't do outside songs, so I don't even know why you're doing that, but fine. Like, you want to send it. And it'll be like the 4 on the floor shit with like some guitar, be like, girls in the club. And I'm like, dude, where the fuck do you get this shit from? Have I ever in any song talked about girls or clubs? Ever.
Yeah.
I don't talk about shit like that. That's fucking, that's not what I like. I like real shit. I like spiritual shit. I like shit that's like from deep inside. I don't talk about looking good in the thing and the fuck out of here.
No.
Like you said, you've met so many people and done so many things, but is there any moment where you kind of sat there and was like, holy shit, is this real?
Yeah, fucking every other day during the time periods. Like, I mean, just putting out like, a song, being in a video with Wayne for the first time was sick. Getting Nas on a record was sick. Doing all this shit, doing fucking SummerSlam and like being on at the Staples Center with everyone there. It's fucking sick. Doing all that shit, hanging out with like every man, when your shit's popping off, like every other day there's something that's like that. It's fucking amazing. And believe me, like I'm like, damn, that was cool. You don't appreciate it at the time a lot of the time,
Right.
Like, oh my, so many people I've met and dude, and even like before they were doing anything, like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these people, like I was like popping off and they were just getting started or vice versa or whatever, like fucking all these artists out there, man. It's like, I can't even tell you all the names of people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been extremely like lucky and blessed, and I try to stay very, very focused. And I know when I stay focused, I usually get some kind of result and success. And when I wander and I'm not focused, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I'm interested. You've had so much, like you've been songs with NFL, MLB, WWE. Do you see that, like, is there a difference in like the fandoms? Like wrestling fans are more attached to you, or
totally wrestling fans are way more. They're like, it's like awesome. It's just like they're more. I don't want to say cult like, but but definitely more hardcore. Like they're just like dedicated, and you feel it from inside that thing. That's what I was trying to explain before. It's like if you could, I mean, maybe you have, I don't know, but like if you could get inside that world for a second, you would see how that shit runs, and it is fucking cool. Like they're basically like, we've created our own universe and we have our own legion of fans and we run game on shit.
Yeah.
And we don't do politics and we don't do what other people want to do. We do what we do, and we have, like, it inspired me, you know. It's inspiring to build that kind of fan base that's so dedicated to you. That's like they're like on their own ship running through the world, and they take that show on the road, and those fans are there. They don't care about any politics in the movie business, the entertainment business, the music business. They don't care. They run shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt it for real.
Yeah. Yeah. This is this isn't so much a serious question, but I'm still interested. Over the years in wrestling, we've seen a lot of celebrities get involved in various matches and all that. Were you ever approached to like take a hit from somebody or anything like that, just for storyline purposes?
Take a hit?
Yeah, like for an example,
like smoke weed?
No.
Like get punched?
Yes.
Which one? Could be a lot of things here.
I should have elaborated. I should have elaborated. Like for an example,
let me clarify.
Machine Gun Kelly performed a song one time on Monday Night Raw, and one of the bad guys came out and attacked him for storyline purposes. Was that ever?
No. I didn't. No, nobody asked me to do that. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't think that ever came up.
Would you be down to?
Would you?
Would I?
Yeah.
I would need to train. I would need to train a little bit first. Yeah, I don't know if. Listen, man, I'm down for whatever.
How about this? How about we fantasy book something real quick? If you were to have one wrestling match, whether it's for someone present, past, whatever, who would you want that match to be against?
Oh, I don't know.
Hulk Hogan?
No. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why not?
Go for it.
That would satisfy like my 10-year-old self.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was searching my mind to figure out who would kick my ass the least. Not that he would, but just that. I'm like, who'd be the most? I'd probably go for one of the divas. It would just be a lot.
There you go.
Softer on me. A lot easier. No, like they get hurt. Like it's no joke. Like you've been. I'm sure you guys have been a million times, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many have you been to?
Probably.
The funny
Johnny,
thing is me and Neep are both from Columbus, so we've probably seen each other at a billion different shows. I got into wrestling when I was 2. I'm 26 now, and I think I've probably been to a wrestling show probably about 5 times per year. So
yeah, I'm about the same. Yeah, 4 or 5 times a year for 24 years.
Yeah, it's probably around 100.
What was your favorite?
My favorite event.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I went to one of the WrestleManias, and obviously that was my favorite. Obviously, because that's their Super Bowl. So yeah, going to a WrestleMania by far was my favorite.
I had a event. I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan, and we were at King of the Ring 2002 in Columbus, and it was actually the pre-show. Jeff Hardy ran out and he slapped my hand, so I got it tattooed. Because it was like the biggest moment for me as a child. So that's still my favorite.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. That a lot of shows. Let's just say that we've been to a lot of shows.
Yeah. How many did you ever go to any wrestling events outside of
Oh yeah, man. Went to I think we went to WrestleMania. We went to obviously SummerSlam. Did that one. I've probably been about at least 2-3 times. Yeah, for sure. Cool. And a lot of it's just like I guess the relationship, because we've just done stuff together and like, yo, you want to come and say, like, yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Or hey, we're in Miami, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now you kind of touched on it a little bit, and as we kind of start to wind down just a bit, is there anything that you can tell us about this new anthem? You said that you're taking little bits and part, you're kind of doing your thing. Is there anything that you can give us just a little bit besides what you've given us so far about this new anthem you're working on?
Yeah, this is like I'm going in on it's really, when I say that it's a post-pandemic rock anthem, I mean it. It's like it's going directly in on all the fucking bullshit, and it's like, but but in the chorus, it's empowering. It's like, so the song is called Gold, and basically it just attacks everything in the world. I don't mean like, I'm not like all crazy leftist or some apocalyptic. It's not. Right. It's just a thought process and a perspective on it. But it's just it's a lot of stuff just about how, I think for the first time we kind of saw that we're being controlled to a certain degree. Right. And I don't think anybody ever really saw that fully. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like, oh yeah, it's like those crazy people, and we're like, oh wow, like they can actually run shit. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, and just the way, computers and technology have affected us, and it's basically saying that, the power is within you, and that's what it comes down to. So yeah. I haven't heard a record by anyone that's really gone there and, talked about something real about that, but it's empowering, because it doesn't matter, because, it's basically saying we're made out of gold, and I'll forget all this other bullshit, Yeah. But it's coming out October 5th, and and anyone who wants to check out how I'm doing it, it's you can follow my TikTok. It's Kevin.Rudolf. Instagram is Kevin Rudolf. Twitter Kevin Rudolf. Facebook Kevin Rudolf. And I'm gonna be like showing you how I made the record. And what I did was I actually took the same format as Let It Rock, like the same sounds, a lot of the same sounds I put in. And so I kind of look at it like spiritually, like it's like I'm transmuting that energy into this. So I'm like the alchemist turning it into gold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Is this something you'll shoot a video for, or are you just putting out the single?
I don't know yet. Like, I literally just got the master back yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I want to like, I got to think of the right concept for it.
Sure.
I don't want to do it just to do it, but I want to. I probably will do a video, because it's gonna be like, the record's pretty sick, man.
Cool. That's awesome, man. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll shoot it to you guys. Give it an early look.
All right, let's do it. We'll make videos. We'll make videos for it. Trying to get it more out there for you.
That'd be dope, man. Yeah, it's gonna. I think like it's gonna rock with all the WWE footage too, for sure. It's like,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. We can make videos.
Yeah, this shit goes hard. Like, I almost want to play you some of it now.
Do it. You got it with you?
I'll play you. Here, let me see what I got right.
This will come out on Monday, by the way. So it's this interview will drop Monday. So
let me play a little piece of it. Can I play it on here? It's gonna feed back. You guys hear it?
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
The mass confusion that started in evolution, information distillation, mind control the population, the cost of devastation we lost on Mother Nature and traded it for the matrix we trapped. Can't escape it back. We're made out of gold, yeah. We're made out of fire and stone. Never give up control, yeah. Live in a world that's been sold.
So clip.
I completely hear that at SummerSlam. Like, I already see it.
Kevin, you're undefeated, brother. That's another banger right there.
I appreciate it, man.
100%, 100%. And we will, if you want us to, we will push that shit too. We will.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, like, TikTok, I'm grateful as fuck for you guys, like, reaching out. Like, that's what you don't understand. Like, I am like I love like connecting. I was like, yo, man, I was thinking like, I want to reconnect with all like the WWE fans and everybody out there. Like, I just feel like there was so much engagement, if you want to call it that word, in social media land. And just in terms of like, back in the day of like all those shows, I was like, I want to get to all those people because I fuck with everybody. And it's like, I'm grateful for you guys, putting me on your platform to reach your fan base and all those WWE fans. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can speak for them, and everyone was very excited that you're doing this, and very excited to hear your perspective and creative process, and everyone's very excited for this interview.
I appreciate. I'm grateful for you having me on. I'm serious. Like I just feel like I'm just happy to be in front of everybody and like whatever. Anybody follow me? I answer all the comments. Like, let's vibe. You want to whatever. You got some ideas for stuff you want to see me make? Like I'm with you guys. So like whatever you want to do, I'm here.
Hey, maybe we'll have you back after the song drops.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right, for sure.
That amount of community, I think that it's unique with Wrestle Talk, but I think that you bode really well with that kind of community and interaction with the fans. So we're also a ton of creators on here that like, we're always on live and stuff talking wrestling, man. You pop in on one of them, people are going to go crazy.
I'm down for whatever, man. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to suck fucking industry dick. I don't want to do that shit, man. Like, I've never done that. And I see people doing all that shit. I fuck with the fans. Like, I want to make, I want to like hang out with you guys and make music for you. You tell me what you like. I'll go make it. Yeah,
you need to definitely jump in one of our TikTok lives one of these days, because that would be amazing. And the fans, I know everyone would absolutely love that.
Do it, man. Let's do it, man. I'll listen. I'll preview new songs I'm working on. You tell me if you like it. If you guys don't like it, I'll fucking throw it out the window.
I doubt that will happen, but that's amazing.
So what we're gonna do is once again, we can't thank you enough for doing this. Like I said, this whole thing we're doing is still pretty new, and we're still trying to get it off the ground. And you're really, really doing us a solid here. And what we're going to do is you're just going to have, I know you kind of promoted your stuff already, but we're just going to give you the floor as we wrap up. You can promote what you want to promote, your socials, whatever you got going on. And then after you're done promoting, we'll just kind of wrap it up. So, the floor is yours for however long you want it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like, I'm excited that you guys joined us, and I'm excited to be like, just vibing with everybody on TikTok and on this podcast. And, you can follow me, Kevin Rudolf, Twitter, Instagram, Kevin.Rudolf on TikTok. What else? Single coming out. It's called Gold on October 5th. And you can follow me on TikTok to see how I made that. And that's it. Appreciate
you, man. Thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to be hitting you up because I want to promote this song for you.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to be emailing you shortly, all right?
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kevin.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yep, see you, man.
All right, I think that went really well.
Yeah, man, that's a good dude right there. That's a good dude right there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for doing this with me. It's a shame. It's a shame Husky wasn't able to hop on here with us, but it is what it is.
No.
Panda, hop in here.